Uh, this is a demo of a program I've developed to solve a galling issue in some of my pattern research. I find it really useful to follow along a pattern if I have the sample measurements, so I could directly compare uh, my drawn my draft to the draft that's presented by the original publisher. Unfortunately, this is not always the case, and in some cases, I'm confused about how to take some of the measurements, and the math doesn't add up. So, here's a little program that I developed to um, try to derive the original measurements used for the draft. And what I'm showing you is from 1892, and um, it consists of four measurement parts. We'll begin with the back piece. We'll add in the side back right here. We'll the side front or the underarm piece, and of course the front. Now, this particular draft begins with the back, so we'll deal with that. What this essentially allows me to do is dynamically scale the pattern according to fixed measurements. And for this particular pattern, I know that I through k prime is equal to 5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something called a dimension, and from I through k. Now it says that the distance between those points is 52.4, but that's because the drawing isn't properly scaled right now. So I'm going to add a few more dimensions for interesting points. So I know that this is supposed to be about 3 centimeters, and supposedly this is going to be around 20 centimeters, but it varies. This would be the back length plus 1 centimeter, and A through F is 71 right here, but of course that's wrong. And finally, the width of the piece. Now, watch what happens when I change this to 5 centimeters. Everything changes. Now, this isn't actually placed correctly, but from this I can figure out what the measurements corresponding to this pattern are. I know that B through D or A through C is equal to the back length plus 1 centimeter. So A through E was 1 centimeter. So 42.8, we'll call it 43, which means call this 42. And the thing is, I can now do math with those measurements. So back length plus 1 is equal to 43, which is close enough to that. Now, for hip depth, it's not 20 centimeters for this particular pattern, but I shortened 18.5, say. Now, from A through E, A through F is equal to 1/6 of the bust minus a centimeter, I think. Let me check my references. And, okay, 1/6 minus 1 centimeter. And so 1/6 minus 1 centimeter, 7.7 times 6 would be the bust. And so 46. Now, some of these reference getting the sizes from the table is only an approximate value. This is a rather small figure, and I'm not expecting the printer to be that reliable. But we can also put in the shoulder width, and this is equal to 15.7. So this is equal to shoulder width plus half a centimeter, so 15.2. So although we haven't drafted the entire piece right here with our little dimensions, I don't think we can actually recover all of any more measurements from this pattern piece. So the next step is to go to the front piece and measure A through B. Now, as you can probably imagine, this is quite high. This hasn't been scaled yet. However, referring back 18.2 for the hip depth, we can transfer this measurement to here and type in this. I believe I put in a comma instead of a decimal point, so right, 26.4. Now we know that A through B is actually half of the half bust plus 2 centimeters. So that would make the bust about 48%, 48 centimeters instead of 46. But all things considered, well, it's close enough. What I'm basically trying to do is not derive the exact measurements, but something that's close enough for error checking purposes. So B through D is going to be equal to 45, so front width. Okay. Actually, that should be closer to, yeah, let's make it 45.5. Okay. Now, if we get rid of this particular thing, we can put in E through I, and this will give us our shoulder width. Shoulder. And let me check whether any modifications are all right, about okay, it says subtract a half centimeter to mark it. So the shoulder is really closer to 11.8. So, you know, anyway, this means, all right, so all right, let's get rid of add dimension Q. So we get a underarm. Okay. Oh. All right. So there are 9 measurements that are here are required for this pattern. So I'm just reading through the pattern instructions, which are in uh, LMP number 1 from December 12th, 1891. 1, 2. Okay. The ninth measure. O B D side back. So depth. Yikes. Um, so anyway, this is something that I whipped up um, as sort of a demonstration project. I'm not sure whether um, it's worth my time improving it further, but as you can see, some of the user interface needs to be tweaked a bit and improved. If you're interested in using this sort of software to solve similar problems, um, um, I might be persuaded to improve it further with any of your suggestions. One thing that I thought it might be useful for is locating the waistline of various small patterns, such as in corsets and crinolines. Anyway, that's all for now.